10 behaviors that keep you single. Stoicism. Hey Stoic in Your Life community. Today we're going to delve into a topic that's both personal and universally relatable. How's your love life shaping up these days? In today's video, we're going to explore 10 specific behaviors that might be keeping you single. These aren't just random habits. They're patterns of behavior that, whether we realize it or not, can significantly impact our ability to form and maintain meaningful relationships. By understanding and addressing these behaviors, we can apply the timeless wisdom of Stoicism to our love lives, helping us foster healthier, more fulfilling connections. So, whether you're currently single and searching for answers, or you're in a relationship but sensing that something isn't quite right, stick around. Together, we'll uncover these barriers and learn how to navigate the complexities of modern relationships with the resilience and wisdom that Stoicism offers. Let's get started on this journey towards better understanding ourselves and finding the love we deserve. 1. You have cynical views about love. You know, one of the key reasons you might still be single is because of your cynical views about love. Ever heard the saying, once bitten, twice shy? It's a natural reaction. If you've been hurt by love before, it's understandable that you might start to doubt the magic of romance. You have every right to grieve and process your hurt feelings. Learning from past experiences is crucial, but dwelling on pain, resentment, and regret can trap you in a cycle of negativity. This can close you off from new opportunities to find someone who truly loves you for who you are. Think about it. Are you letting past hurts dictate your future happiness? Remember what Marcus Aurelius said, "Reject your sense of injury and the injury itself disappears." Secondly, let's talk about unrealistic expectations. Sometimes our standards for a potential partner are sky high, shaped by romantic movies or novels. It's not wrong to have standards, but are they realistic? Are you expecting someone perfect when perfection doesn't exist? Seneca once said, "It is the power of the mind to be unconquerable." This means we can control our expectations and attitudes. Reflect on what truly matters in a partner: values, kindness, compatibility, rather than an idealized image. Are you focusing on the essence of a person, or just their surface qualities? Thirdly, you might be afraid of vulnerability. Opening up to someone can be scary. It means showing your true self, flaws and all. Yet, vulnerability is the foundation of genuine connection. Epictetus wisely pointed out, "He who fears he shall suffer, already suffers what he fears." By fearing vulnerability, you suffer the loss of deep, meaningful relationships. Ask yourself, are you willing to take the risk of opening up to let someone see the real you? Another behavior to consider is your level of self-awareness. Are you aware of how your actions and attitudes impact others? Self-awareness is crucial in any relationship. It helps you understand your strengths and weaknesses. As the Stoic philosopher Epictetus advised, know first who you are, and then adorn yourself accordingly. Being honest with yourself and others can lead to healthier, more authentic relationships. Are you willing to look inward and grow from your reflections? Next, let's discuss communication skills. Effective communication is the backbone of any relationship. Are you listening actively, speaking openly, and addressing issues calmly? Misunderstandings often arise from poor communication. Marcus Aurelius emphasized, "If someone is able to show me that what I think or do is not right, I will happily change, for I seek the truth, by which no one was ever truly harmed." Are you open to improving your communication, learning from others, and seeking the truth in your interactions? Consider also your level of independence. While independence is admirable, too much of it can make you appear unapproachable. Are you so self-sufficient that you leave no room for others to be part of your life? Relationships thrive on mutual support and interdependence. Seneca said, "We are more often frightened than hurt, and we suffer more in imagination than in reality." Are you afraid to let someone in because you fear losing your independence? Or could you find a balance that allows both autonomy and connection? Furthermore, reflect on your past patterns. Do you keep choosing the same type of partner, expecting different results? This could be a sign of unaddressed issues or unresolved past traumas. As Epictetus noted, first say to yourself what you would be, and then do what you have to do. Are you breaking free from unhealthy patterns and consciously choosing better for yourself? Let's not overlook the importance of self-love. How you treat yourself sets the standard for how others will treat you. Are you taking care of your mental, emotional, and physical well-being? Self-love isn't selfish. It's necessary. Remember Marcus Aurelius's words, "The soul becomes dyed with the color of its thoughts." Are you cultivating positive thoughts about yourself, ensuring your soul radiates confidence and self-respect? Your social circle also plays a role. Are your friends and family supportive of your search for love, or are they reinforcing negative beliefs? Surrounding yourself with positive influences can make a significant difference. Seneca said, "Associate with people who are likely to improve you." Are you engaging with people who uplift you and support your journey towards finding love? Lastly, consider your mindset towards love and relationships. Are you viewing them as a battleground or a playground? Love should be enriching and joyful, not a source of constant stress. Epictetus reminded us, "We suffer not from the events in our lives, but from our judgment about them." Are you approaching love with a positive mindset, ready to embrace the joys and challenges it brings? Being single isn't a flaw, but an opportunity to grow and prepare for a meaningful relationship. By addressing these behaviors and embracing the wisdom of Stoicism, you can open yourself to the possibility of finding true love. Are you ready to transform your perspective and take the steps towards a fulfilling relationship? Remember, the journey to love starts with you. 2. You set unrealistic standards. Relationships can be a complex labyrinth, but sometimes our own behaviors and mindsets can be the biggest obstacles. Let's unravel these together, starting with the notion of setting unrealistic standards. As Epictetus wisely said, "It's not what happens to you, but how you react to it that matters." This perspective is crucial when evaluating our expectations in relationships. In today's digital age, we're bombarded with images and stories of perfect couples flaunting their relationship goals. This constant exposure can warp our perceptions, leading us to set unattainably high standards for our own relationships. We start to believe that anything less than perfection isn't worth our time, causing us to overlook genuinely good prospects. Remember, true Stoicism teaches us to focus on what we can control and to accept reality as it is. By clinging to these unrealistic ideals, we might dismiss a potentially meaningful connection simply because it doesn't tick every box on our superficial checklist. Marcus Aurelius reminds us, "Accept the things to which fate binds you, and love the people with whom fate brings you together, but do so with all your heart." It's crucial to understand that no relationship is perfect. Expecting flawlessness sets us up for disappointment and robs us of the chance to build something real and lasting. Instead, we should strive to become the right person rather than endlessly seeking them. This shift in perspective can be liberating. It allows us to appreciate the inherent imperfections in our partners and ourselves, fostering growth and deep connection. In essence, relationships are not about finding the perfect person, but about building a life together with someone who complements and supports us. In our quest for the ideal partner, we often forget to look inward. Self-reflection is a cornerstone of Stoic philosophy, urging us to cultivate virtues within ourselves rather than seeking them externally. When we demand perfection from others, we must first ask if we embody those qualities. As Seneca stated, "He who is brave is free." Freedom in relationships comes from understanding and embracing each other's flaws and strengths, creating a balanced dynamic. Moreover, the pressure of social media perfection can lead to a vicious cycle of dissatisfaction. We compare our behind the scenes with others' highlight reels, leading to unnecessary discontent. This comparison traps us in a loop where we are never satisfied, always yearning for a fictional ideal. Recognize that everyone's journey is unique, and what works for one couple may not work for another. Focus on building a relationship that is fulfilling and genuine to you, rather than conforming to societal expectations. To break free from these unrealistic standards, we need to shift our mindset. Start by practicing gratitude for the qualities your partner brings into your life. Celebrate the small, everyday moments that create the fabric of your relationship. These are often more meaningful than grand, staged displays of affection. As Epictetus advised, wealth consists not in having great possessions but in having few wants. Apply this wisdom to your relationships by appreciating the depth and authenticity of your connection over superficial perfection. Another practical approach is to communicate openly with your partner about your expectations and fears. Honest dialogue can bridge gaps and prevent misunderstandings. It's essential to remember that both partners should feel valued and heard. By fostering a culture of open communication, you can navigate challenges together and grow stronger as a unit. Incorporate Stoic exercises into your daily routine to help manage expectations and cultivate a balanced view of relationships. For instance, practice negative visualization by imagining life without your partner. This can deepen your appreciation for their presence and the positives they bring into your life. Additionally, keep a journal to reflect on your thoughts and behaviors, identifying patterns that might be sabotaging your happiness. Another powerful tool is the dichotomy of control, a key Stoic principle. Focus on what you can control, your actions, thoughts, and responses, and let go of what you cannot, such as your partner's flaws or societal pressures. This mindset fosters inner peace and strengthens your relationship by reducing unnecessary conflict and stress. Navigating the complexities of modern relationships requires a blend of self-awareness, realistic expectations, and Stoic wisdom. By setting aside unrealistic standards and embracing the authentic, imperfect nature of human connections, we open ourselves up to deeper, more meaningful relationships. Remember the words of Marcus Aurelius: "Dwell on the beauty of life, watch the stars, and see yourself running with them." Embrace the beauty in your relationships, imperfections and all, and you'll find that true happiness lies not in perfection, but in genuine connection and shared growth. 3. You've set too many deal breakers. It's great that you know what you want in a partner, but be careful not to set too many deal breakers too early. Having high standards is important, but expecting too much too soon can lead to disappointment and missed opportunities. Are you quick to call it quits at the first sign of imperfection? Just as you deserve a fair chance, so do they. Relationships take time and effort, and sometimes those imperfections make someone uniquely suited for you. Embracing the flaws in someone can lead to a deeper, more lasting love. Consider the story of Jack and Emily. Jack was very particular about who he dated. He had a long list of deal breakers, and if someone didn't meet every single criterion, he wouldn't give them a second chance. One day, Jack met Emily. She was smart, funny, and kind, but she had a few habits that Jack didn't like. Instead of dismissing her immediately, Jack decided to give the relationship a chance. Over time, he realized that those habits he initially saw as flaws were actually part of what made Emily special. Her quirks brought a unique dynamic to their relationship, and they balanced each other out in unexpected ways. By allowing himself to move past his rigid deal breakers, Jack found a love that was deeper and more meaningful than he had ever imagined. So, I ask you, what are the deal breakers you've set in your mind? Are they truly essential to your happiness? Or could they be holding you back from meeting someone wonderful? Could those imperfections be the very things that make a relationship uniquely beautiful? Relationships are about growth, both individually and together. Each person brings their own set of strengths and weaknesses to the table. It's through understanding and accepting these that we create strong, enduring connections. Think about it. Have you ever had a friend or a family member who had a habit that initially annoyed you but eventually you grew to love, perhaps even find it endearing? The same can happen in romantic relationships. By setting too many deal breakers, you might be missing out on the opportunity to experience this growth and deeper connection. No one is perfect, including ourselves. If we want to be accepted for who we are, with all our flaws and imperfections, we need to extend the same courtesy to others. It's about seeing beyond the surface and recognizing the potential for something beautiful to grow. When you think about your ideal partner, consider the qualities that truly matter. Is it more important for them to have a perfect appearance and meet every single one of your criteria, or is it more important for them to be kind, understanding, and supportive? What kind of partner do you want to be? What qualities do you bring to a relationship? Are you willing to give someone the same patience and understanding that you seek? Let's take another real-life example. Sarah was very particular about the type of man she wanted to date. She had a checklist of attributes she believed were non-negotiable. However, she found herself constantly disappointed, as no one seemed to meet all her criteria. Then, she met Tom. Tom was different from what she had envisioned. He didn't tick all the boxes on her list. But as she got to know him, she realized that he possessed qualities she hadn't even thought to include on her checklist. He was patient, kind, and made her laugh like no one else. Sarah learned to appreciate the unexpected qualities in Tom and found that they complemented each other in ways she had never anticipated. This story illustrates the value of keeping an open mind and heart when it comes to relationships. It's essential to recognize that love and connection often come from unexpected places and people. By rigidly adhering to a list of deal breakers, you might be closing yourself off to these possibilities. Instead, focus on the core values and qualities that are truly important to you, and be open to the ways in which someone might surprise you. To bring this lesson home, think about a time when you were given a chance despite not being perfect. How did that make you feel? Would you have wanted someone to judge you solely on a list of deal breakers, or would you have preferred they see the whole, complex, wonderful person that you are? While it's important to have standards and know what you want in a relationship, it's equally important to allow for some flexibility and understanding. People are more than a collection of traits on a checklist. The imperfections and quirks that we each bring to the table can often become the glue that holds a relationship together. By giving others the same grace and patience we desire for ourselves, we open the door to deeper, more meaningful connections. So next time you're tempted to write someone off because of a minor imperfection, ask yourself, could this be an opportunity to grow together? Could this be the start of a beautiful, lasting love? Thank you for being with us in this video on 10 behaviors that keep you single, Stoicism. We're curious, which of these 3 behaviors resonated most with you? Have you noticed any of these patterns in your own relationships or those of your friends? We'd love to hear your thoughts and experiences. If you're not sure what to comment, simply share one behavior from the video that you found eye-opening or that you plan to work on. Your insights can help spark a valuable discussion for everyone in our community. 4. You have unresolved past trauma. Let's dive into another behavior that can keep you single. Unresolved past trauma. Picture this. You've had a messy breakup, been in a toxic relationship, or endured an unhappy childhood. These experiences often leave us with painful memories and emotional scars that we might never fully get over. Unknowingly, we carry this trauma throughout our lives, allowing it to sabotage our relationships. It's like dragging an invisible weight, making it hard to move forward and truly connect with someone new. Imagine trying to build a house on a shaky foundation. No matter how beautiful the structure is, it will always be at risk of collapsing. Similarly, if we don't address our past traumas, they will continue to affect our present and future relationships. The key is resolution, acceptance, and making peace with the past. By doing so, we not only negate most of the detrimental effects, but also become better partners, giving our relationships the best chance to stand the test of time. As the Stoic philosopher Epictetus once said, "It's not what happens to you, but how you react to it that matters." So, how do we start this process of healing? First, it's important to acknowledge the trauma. Often, we try to bury painful memories deep within ourselves, thinking that ignoring them will make them go away. but unresolved issues have a way of resurfacing when we least expect it. Take a moment to reflect on your past. Are there any experiences that still trigger strong emotions? Do certain situations make you feel disproportionately anxious or angry? These could be signs that you have unresolved trauma. Next, consider seeking professional help. Therapy can be incredibly beneficial in processing past experiences and learning how to cope with their lingering effects. A therapist can provide you with tools and strategies to manage your emotions and develop healthier relationship patterns. They can help you understand why you react the way you do and guide you toward more constructive responses. But therapy isn't the only path to healing. Sometimes simply talking about your experiences with a trusted friend or family member can provide relief. Writing about your feelings in a journal can also be a powerful way to process emotions. The act of putting thoughts into words can help you gain clarity and perspective. Another crucial aspect of healing is self-compassion. Be kind to yourself as you navigate this journey. It's easy to fall into the trap of self-blame, thinking that you're broken or unworthy of love because of your past. But everyone has their own set of challenges and traumas. What's important is how you choose to address them. As Marcus Aurelius said, "The best revenge is to be unlike him who performed the injury." Instead of letting past hurts define you, strive to become the best version of yourself. While you're working on healing, it's also important to practice patience. Healing is not a linear process. There will be ups and downs. Some days you might feel like you've made significant progress, while other days the weight of your past might feel overwhelming. Allow yourself to feel these emotions without judgment. Remember, it's a journey, not a destination. In the context of relationships, communicate openly with your partner about your past and how it affects you. Vulnerability can be a strength, not a weakness. When your partner understands what you're going through, they can offer support and empathy, which can strengthen your bond. Moreover, it fosters an environment of trust and honesty, which is essential for any healthy relationship. Consider how your past experiences might have shaped your views on relationships. Are there certain patterns you notice in your dating history? Do you tend to choose partners who remind you of someone from your past? Reflecting on these patterns can provide insights into your behavior and help you make more conscious choices moving forward. Engage with your partner in activities that promote mutual growth and healing. Whether it's attending a workshop together, practicing mindfulness, or exploring new hobbies, shared experiences can bring you closer and help you build a strong foundation for your relationship. As Seneca wisely stated, "While we wait for life, life passes." Don't let the unresolved trauma of the past rob you of the happiness you can find in the present. Ask yourself, how much more fulfilling could your relationships be if you weren't held back by your past? What would it feel like to enter a relationship with a clear heart and mind, ready to give and receive love fully? These open-ended questions can guide your introspection and motivate you to take the necessary steps toward healing. Unresolved past trauma can significantly impact your ability to form and maintain healthy relationships. However, by acknowledging your trauma, seeking help, practicing self-compassion, and communicating openly with your partner, you can overcome these challenges. The journey may be long and arduous, but the reward is a deeper connection with yourself and others. As you continue on this path, remember the words of Epictetus: "We suffer not from the events in our lives, but from our judgment about them." Reframe your narrative, heal your wounds, and open yourself to the possibility of a loving and lasting relationship. How will you begin this transformative journey today? 5. You have low self-esteem. Do you ever find yourself pondering why you remain single, despite your best efforts to find a meaningful connection? This journey through the labyrinth of relationships can often seem daunting, but it's not without hope. Drawing from the timeless wisdom of Stoicism, we can uncover behaviors that might be inadvertently keeping you single. Marcus Aurelius once said, "The happiness of your life depends upon the quality of your thoughts," which rings especially true in matters of the heart. Let's delve into one crucial behavior that might be sabotaging your love life and see how we can navigate it with a Stoic mindset. One of the most significant behaviors that can keep you single is low self-esteem. It's often said that you can't love someone else until you learn to love yourself first. This adage holds immense truth, particularly in romantic relationships. When you suffer from low self-esteem, you might find yourself losing your sense of individuality in your partner. Instead of nurturing your own identity, you start to rely on your partner to fill that void. This dependency stems from a deep-seated belief that you are unworthy of love, leading to constant anxiety about your partner leaving you once they realize your perceived flaws. This insecurity often manifests in various detrimental ways, such as misinterpreting harmless actions, catastrophizing minor issues, and suspecting your partner without cause. This behavior not only exhausts you, but also becomes draining for your partner, creating a toxic cycle that can lead to the relationship's downfall. Expanding on this, it's essential to understand that low self-esteem doesn't just affect your romantic life. It seeps into every aspect of your existence. Epictetus wisely remarked, "Man is not worried by real problems so much as by his imagined anxieties about real problems." This means that our self-created worries can often outweigh the actual issues at hand. When you harbor low self-esteem, you project these anxieties onto your partner, creating problems where there might be none. It's a self-fulfilling prophecy. Your fear of being unworthy leads you to behave in ways that push your partner away, thereby reinforcing your belief that you are indeed unworthy. In modern life, where social media and societal pressures constantly bombard us with unrealistic standards, maintaining healthy self-esteem can be challenging. However, it's crucial to remember that self-worth is not dictated by external validation, but by internal acceptance. As Seneca aptly put it, "He who is brave is free." In this context, bravery involves the courage to accept and love oneself, despite perceived imperfections. This acceptance forms the foundation of any healthy relationship. When you embrace your worth, you no longer seek validation from your partner, thereby creating a balanced and fulfilling relationship dynamic. To build and maintain healthy self-esteem, start by acknowledging your intrinsic value. Reflect on your strengths, achievements, and positive attributes. Practice self-compassion, allowing yourself to be imperfect and human. Engage in activities that bring you joy and fulfillment, thereby reinforcing your sense of self outside of a relationship. Additionally, consider seeking professional help if low self-esteem significantly impacts your life. Therapy can provide valuable tools and perspectives to help you build a healthier self-image. Incorporating Stoic principles can also be incredibly beneficial. Stoicism teaches us to focus on what we can control and accept what we cannot. By applying this to our self-esteem, we can shift our focus from seeking external approval to fostering internal acceptance. As Marcus Aurelius advised, the more we value things outside our control, the less control we have. Hence, by valuing our internal state over external opinions, we regain control over our self-worth and, consequently, our relationships. Low self-esteem can be a significant barrier to forming and maintaining healthy relationships. By understanding and addressing this behavior, you can pave the way for more meaningful connections. Remember, self-love is not selfish. It's a prerequisite for loving others fully. Embrace your worth, focus on personal growth, and let the wisdom of Stoicism guide you towards a fulfilling romantic life. As you embark on this journey, keep in mind the words of Epictetus. First say to yourself what you would be, and then do what you have to do. This proactive approach to self-improvement and self-love will not only enhance your relationships but also enrich your life in profound ways. 6. You have a fear of happiness. Many people grapple with this paradoxical fear of happiness, an emotional barrier that prevents them from forming deep, meaningful relationships. Picture this. You've met someone who ticks all your boxes. They're kind, attentive, and genuinely interested in you. Yet every time things start to get serious, You find yourself pulling back, creating distance, and sometimes even causing unnecessary conflicts. This isn't because you're uninterested. Rather, it's a subconscious defense mechanism against the vulnerability that true happiness and connection demand. Picture your friend John, a successful professional with a vibrant social life, yet perpetually single. John met Sarah, an incredible woman who matched his energy and shared his interests. They had an amazing connection, but as things progressed, John started finding faults in Sarah that weren't there before. He began canceling dates, avoiding calls, and eventually the relationship fizzled out. John couldn't understand why he felt relieved and miserable at the same time. It wasn't until a candid conversation with a therapist that he realized his fear of happiness had been sabotaging his chance at love. This fear often stems from past experiences or deep-seated insecurities. Maybe you've been hurt before, and the idea of being happy feels like setting yourself up for another heartbreak. Or perhaps the concept of happiness seems so alien and fleeting that you can't trust it when it appears. This apprehension leads to a cycle of self-sabotage, where you push people away before they can get too close, convincing yourself that you're better off alone. But is that really true? Think about the last time you let someone in, really let them in. How did it feel to be seen, heard, and understood? Yes, vulnerability can be terrifying, but it's also the gateway to genuine connection and happiness. When you suppress your desires for connection, you not only deprive yourself of potential joy, but also create misunderstandings. Others may see your actions as inconsiderate or inconsistent, not realizing that you're grappling with an internal struggle. Reflecting on Stoic principles can offer some solace and guidance. Stoicism teaches us to focus on what we can control and accept what we cannot. You can't control the future or the potential for heartbreak, but you can control how you respond to these fears. Embracing vulnerability doesn't mean you're setting yourself up for pain. It means you're opening yourself up to the full spectrum of human experience, including the possibility of profound joy. So, how can you break free from this fear? Start by acknowledging it. Recognize that this fear exists and that it's okay to feel this way. Next, challenge the beliefs that fuel this fear. Ask yourself, what's the worst that could happen if I let someone in? More often than not, the reality isn't as daunting as your mind makes it out to be. Gradually expose yourself to vulnerability. Share a little more about yourself with friends or loved ones. Allow yourself to enjoy the small moments of happiness without overthinking what comes next. Engage with your audience by asking them, have you ever pushed someone away out of fear? How did it make you feel afterward? Encourage them to share their experiences and thoughts. This not only fosters a sense of community, but also helps others realize they're not alone in their struggles. In modern life, where everyone seems to be striving for perfection, it's easy to forget that imperfections and vulnerabilities are what make us human. Take the example of Emma, a high-achieving lawyer who found it hard to let her guard down. She always felt that showing vulnerability was a sign of weakness. However, after joining a support group and hearing similar stories, Emma began to understand that vulnerability is a strength. It allows us to connect on a deeper level and experience life more fully. The specific lesson here is to embrace vulnerability and confront your fear of happiness head-on. Understand that while happiness can be fleeting, it's also real and attainable. By acknowledging and working through your fears, you can open the door to fulfilling relationships and a richer, more connected life. Remember, it's okay to be afraid, but don't let that fear dictate your actions. Instead, use it as a stepping stone to grow and find true happiness. As you navigate your own journey, ask yourself, am I ready to embrace happiness with all its uncertainties? This introspection can be the first step towards overcoming the fear that's holding you back. Embrace your vulnerability, let go of your fears, and open yourself to the possibility of true, lasting happiness. If you've made it this far, you're on the path to true self-awareness. Drop a comment saying, I am ready for love, to show you're committed to transforming your relationship habits. Stick around because the best is yet to come. 7. You have trust issues. Imagine you're navigating the complex seas of relationships, striving to find that balance between independence and companionship. Have you ever found yourself feeling uneasy when your partner spends time with others? Does a part of you feel compelled to check their messages or keep tabs on their whereabouts? This nagging need for reassurance can be a sign of deeper trust issues, a common behavior that can inadvertently keep you single. As the ancient Stoic philosopher Epictetus wisely noted, it's not what happens to you, but how you react to it that matters. When we allow jealousy and suspicion to dictate our actions, we not only compromise our own peace of mind but also place unnecessary strain on our relationships. Consider this. If your partner feels like they're constantly being monitored or doubted, how long before they start to feel stifled and resentful? Trust, once broken, is difficult to rebuild, and behaving as if your partner is under constant surveillance is a sure way to erode the very foundation of your relationship. Let's delve deeper into this issue. Trust is the bedrock of any strong relationship. Without it, the bond between partners becomes fragile and tenuous. When you trust someone, you give them the freedom to be themselves, to make choices, and to engage with the world around them without fear of constant scrutiny. Marcus Aurelius, another Stoic philosopher, reminds us, if you are distressed by anything external, the pain is not due to the thing itself, but to your estimate of it, and this you have the power to revoke at any moment. This means that your feelings of jealousy and insecurity are within your control, and by addressing them, you can change the dynamic of your relationship for the better. Think about a time when you felt truly trusted by someone. How did it make you feel? Likely, it brought a sense of freedom and confidence, encouraging you to be your best self. Now, imagine extending that same trust to your partner. Instead of focusing on what could go wrong, shift your perspective to what could go right. Engage in open, honest conversations about your feelings. Ask yourself, what is the root cause of your distrust? Is it past experiences, a lack of self-esteem, or something else? By understanding the underlying reasons, you can begin to address and overcome them. Another critical aspect to consider is the impact of your actions on your partner. Constantly questioning their loyalty can create a hostile environment where they feel undervalued and misunderstood. Seneca, a prominent Stoic, once said, "We suffer more often in imagination than in reality." Often, our fears and doubts are products of our imagination, rather than reflections of reality. By grounding ourselves in the present and communicating openly, we can foster a healthier, more trusting relationship. Imagine the possibilities if you embraced trust fully. Your relationship could transform into a partnership based on mutual respect and understanding. Your partner, feeling trusted and valued, would likely reciprocate with even greater love and commitment. This creates a positive cycle, strengthening your bond and bringing you closer together. So, how do you begin to build trust if it has been lacking? Start with small steps. Practice self-awareness and mindfulness. When you feel the urge to check their phone or ask probing questions, pause and reflect. Ask yourself, what am I feeling right now? And why? Can I choose a different response? Instead of acting on your insecurities, express them honestly to your partner. Share your feelings without placing blame. This opens the door to deeper understanding and empathy. It's also essential to work on your self-esteem. When you feel secure and confident in yourself, you're less likely to project your insecurities onto your partner. Engage in activities that make you feel good about yourself, and surround yourself with supportive friends and family who reinforce your self-worth. Remember, a healthy relationship is one where both partners feel valued and respected, not controlled or doubted. Trust is not built overnight, and it requires effort from both parties, but the rewards are worth it. By cultivating trust, you create a space where both you and your partner can thrive individually and together. As Epictetus said, "No man is free who is not master of himself." Mastering your fears and insecurities is a step towards true freedom and a more fulfilling relationship. Now I challenge you to reflect on your own relationships. Are there areas where you could practice more trust and less control? How might this change your dynamic for the better? Trust is a gift that you give both to yourself and to your partner. It's an affirmation of your strength and resilience and a cornerstone of a loving, lasting relationship. Remember, as with all aspects of Stoic philosophy, the power to change lies within you. Embrace it, and watch as your relationships flourish and grow. 8. You think you will lose your independence by being in a relationship. Are you finding yourself perpetually single, wondering what behaviors might be keeping you from forming a lasting relationship? One common behavior that may keep you single is the fear that entering a relationship will mean losing your independence. This notion is often perpetuated by popular culture, particularly rom-com movies that tout lines like, "You complete me." This phrase, although romantic, can be misleading and unhealthy. The fear of commitment, stemming from a belief that a relationship equates to losing one's freedom, is understandable yet misplaced. In reality, a healthy relationship allows you to retain your personality and independence. As the Stoic philosopher Epictetus once said, "No man is free who is not master of himself." True freedom comes from within and cannot be taken away by a committed relationship. Instead, a strong partnership encourages personal growth and supports each partner's individuality. Another behavior that may hinder your romantic prospects is prioritizing superficial qualities over deeper, more meaningful traits. It's easy to get caught up in appearances or material success, but these attributes often overshadow what truly matters in a partner: character, values, and emotional intelligence. Marcus Aurelius wisely noted, "The soul becomes dyed with the color of its thoughts." When you focus on superficial aspects, you neglect the substance that sustains a long-term relationship. Reflect on what qualities are truly important to you, and seek partners who embody those traits. Overvaluing perfection is another pitfall. Many people hold out for an ideal partner who ticks every box on their checklist. However, the pursuit of perfection can be paralyzing. Seneca reminds us, "While we wait for life, life passes." Holding out for an ideal that may not exist means missing out on opportunities to build meaningful connections with real, imperfect people. Embrace the imperfections in yourself and others, recognizing that growth and happiness often come from working through challenges together. Additionally, the tendency to avoid vulnerability can be a significant barrier to forming close relationships. Vulnerability is often seen as a weakness, but in truth, it is a strength that fosters deeper connections and trust. As Epictetus emphasized, "He who laughs at himself never runs out of things to laugh at." Embracing vulnerability means being open and honest about your fears, dreams, and flaws, which in turn invites your partner to do the same. This mutual openness is the bedrock of intimacy and trust. Another behavior to reconsider is the habit of self-sabotage. Sometimes fear of rejection or past traumas lead individuals to unconsciously undermine potential relationships. This can manifest as pushing people away or not putting effort into nurturing a connection. The Stoic philosopher Epictetus teaches us, "It's not what happens to you but how you react to it that matters." By recognizing and addressing these patterns, you can break free from self-sabotage and allow yourself the chance to build a loving relationship. Holding on to past grudges or hurts can also prevent you from moving forward. Carrying emotional baggage from previous relationships clouds your judgment and affects your current interactions. As Marcus Aurelius advised, reject your sense of injury and the injury itself disappears. Letting go of past pain is crucial for opening your heart to new possibilities. Focus on the present and the future, rather than being anchored to past disappointments. Moreover, unrealistic expectations can be detrimental. Expecting your partner to fulfill all your needs or to be your source of constant happiness is not only unrealistic, but also places undue pressure on the relationship. Seneca wisely stated, "If you live in harmony with nature, you will never be poor. If you live according to what others think, you will never be rich." A fulfilling relationship involves mutual support, but it should not be the sole source of your happiness or validation. Cultivate your own interests, passions, and self-worth alongside your relationship. Lastly, neglecting self-improvement can be a major roadblock. Focusing solely on finding the right partner without working on yourself can lead to imbalanced relationships. The Stoic principle of continuous self-improvement is vital here. As Seneca wrote, "Throw aside all hindrances and give up your time to attain a sound mind." Strive to be the best version of yourself, not just for a potential partner, but for your own fulfillment and growth. Engage in activities that enhance your well-being, knowledge, and skills. By addressing these behaviors and adopting a Stoic approach to relationships, you can cultivate a mindset that not only attracts a compatible partner, but also fosters a healthy, enduring relationship. Remember, the essence of Stoicism lies in focusing on what you can control and letting go of what you cannot. Apply this wisdom to your romantic endeavors, and you may find that the barriers keeping you single begin to dissolve. As you navigate the complexities of love and relationships, keep in mind the Stoic virtues of wisdom, courage, justice, and temperance. These timeless principles can guide you towards a fulfilling and harmonious partnership. 9. You want someone you can't or shouldn't. Many of us have been guilty of being drawn to someone against our better judgment, likely more than once. It might be because they're already taken or emotionally unavailable. This common behavior can stem from a desire for the thrill of the chase or the allure of the unattainable. However, obsessing over the forbidden fruit can close off your ability to consider those who are more compatible and better suited for you. Think about it. How often have you found yourself infatuated with someone who is emotionally distant, already in a relationship, or simply not a good match for your values and life goals? This infatuation is often more about what you can't have rather than what is truly good for you. The ancient Stoics, such as Epictetus, taught us to focus on what is within our control and accept what is not. Applying this wisdom to our romantic lives can save us from heartache and frustration. When we desire someone who is unavailable or unsuitable, we are chasing after something that is not within our control, which leads to unnecessary suffering. Consider the story of John, a modern professional who worked at a bustling tech company. John was drawn to a colleague, Lisa, who was charismatic, smart, and unfortunately, already in a long-term relationship. Despite knowing this, John found himself daydreaming about Lisa, hoping that someday she might notice him. He even went out of his way to impress her, working late nights to help her with projects and trying to make her laugh during breaks. However, his feelings were never reciprocated, and he ended up feeling more lonely and frustrated. John's experience is a powerful reminder of how chasing after someone you can't or shouldn't have can prevent you from seeing the opportunities right in front of you. While John was pining for Lisa, he missed the chance to connect with Sarah, another colleague who shared his interests and was genuinely interested in getting to know him better. It wasn't until John embraced the Stoic principle of focusing on what he could control, his actions, his thoughts, and his openness to new possibilities, that he began to see Sarah in a new light. By letting go of his obsession with Lisa, John was able to build a meaningful and fulfilling relationship with Sarah. What about you? Have you ever found yourself in a situation similar to John's, where your focus on someone unattainable blinded you to better opportunities? How did that affect your happiness and sense of fulfillment? These are important questions to ponder as they help you understand the impact of your desires and the way they shape your experiences. This behavior is not just about romantic relationships. It can also be seen in various aspects of life, such as career aspirations, friendships, and personal goals. For instance, longing for a job that seems perfect but is out of reach can prevent you from recognizing and appreciating the growth and satisfaction you can achieve in your current role. In friendships, yearning for the approval or companionship of someone who doesn't value you can make you overlook those who genuinely care and support you. So how can you apply Stoic wisdom to break free from this pattern start by practicing self-awareness. Pay attention to your feelings and thoughts when you find yourself attracted to someone unavailable or unsuitable. Ask yourself if this desire is based on reality or an idealized version of the person. Reflect on whether pursuing this desire aligns with your values and long-term goals. The Stoics emphasized living in accordance with nature and reason, which means making choices that promote your well-being and personal growth. Next, focus on what you can control. You can't control other people's availability or feelings, but you can control your actions and attitudes. Channel your energy into building healthy reciprocal relationships with those who are emotionally available and aligned with your values. Practice gratitude for the positive connections you already have in your life and remain open to new possibilities. Lastly, embrace the concept of amor fati, which means loving your fate. Accept that some things are not meant to be, and that every experience, whether pleasant or painful, is an opportunity for growth. By accepting reality as it is, you free yourself from the torment of unfulfilled desires and open the door to true contentment and happiness. Desiring someone you can't or shouldn't have is a common human experience, but it often leads to unnecessary suffering and missed opportunities. By applying Stoic principles, you can shift your focus to what is within your control, build meaningful relationships with those who are truly compatible with you, and embrace the life that is unfolding before you. Reflect on your own experiences, practice self-awareness, and cultivate gratitude for the relationships that bring true joy and fulfillment into your life. What steps will you take today to let go of unattainable desires and embrace the possibilities within your reach? Thank you for staying tuned. Before we move on to the next segment, I'd like to take a moment to express my gratitude to you. It's a pleasure to have you as a member of our community. Please feel free to share your story or personal impressions. Alternatively, if you're unsure of what to say, simply leave a comment saying, "I am a newbie," if you've just joined us, or "I am Stoic," if you've been with us for a while. Your engagement not only signifies your presence, but also serves as a significant motivation for us. All right, let's continue this journey together, shall we? 10. You don't learn from your mistakes. We all make mistakes. It's a fundamental part of being human. However, the key to personal growth and improvement lies in our ability to learn from these errors. Reflect on your past relationships. What mistakes did you make? How did they shape your perspective and approach to future relationships? If you find it difficult to identify any missteps or believe you've never been at fault, this mindset could be the most significant obstacle preventing you from finding a lasting relationship. Mistakes provide invaluable lessons that allow us to grow, evolve, and become better partners in the future. Without this learning process, we are doomed to repeat the same mistakes, perpetuating a cycle that hinders our ability to form meaningful connections. It's essential to recognize that a relationship involves more than one person, and you are one of those key participants. Embracing this responsibility means acknowledging your role in past failures and striving to make better choices moving forward. The philosopher Seneca once said, "Every new beginning comes from some other beginning's end." This quote reminds us that each failed relationship offers a fresh start, provided we learn and grow from the experience. But learning from mistakes is just one piece of the puzzle. Let's consider another behavior: avoiding vulnerability. Stoicism teaches us the importance of resilience, but this doesn't mean shutting ourselves off from emotions or connections. To form a deep, lasting relationship, we must be willing to open up and be vulnerable with our partners. Reflect on your own experiences. Have you held back your true feelings out of fear of rejection or judgment? Marcus Aurelius wisely noted, "The impediment to action advances action. What stands in the way becomes the way." In the context of relationships, embracing vulnerability can turn obstacles into opportunities for deeper connection. Next, let's discuss the issue of unrealistic expectations. Are you holding out for a partner who fits a perfect mold? Stoicism encourages us to accept reality as it is, rather than how we wish it to be. No one is perfect, and seeking an idealized partner can lead to perpetual disappointment and missed opportunities. Epictetus advised, "It's not what happens to you, but how you react to it that matters." This principle applies to relationships as well. Instead of focusing on finding someone who meets every criterion on your list, consider how you can adapt and appreciate the unique qualities each person brings into your life. Another behavior that might be keeping you single is the tendency to blame others for relationship failures. Stoicism emphasizes personal responsibility and the power of our own choices. When a relationship ends, it's easy to point fingers and place blame elsewhere. However, this mindset prevents us from examining our own actions and making necessary changes. Reflect on your past relationships. How often have you attributed their demise solely to the other person's flaws? Instead, ask yourself what you could have done differently. This self-awareness and accountability are crucial for personal growth and future relationship success. Moreover, the fear of being alone can drive people to stay in unhealthy relationships or avoid pursuing new ones altogether. Stoicism teaches us to find contentment within ourselves, irrespective of external circumstances. Seneca stated, "True happiness is to enjoy the present without anxious dependence upon the future." Learning to be comfortable with solitude and finding joy in your own company can alleviate the fear of loneliness and lead to healthier, more fulfilling relationships when they do come along. Let's also consider the impact of past traumas and unresolved issues. Carrying emotional baggage into new relationships can sabotage them before they even begin. Stoicism encourages us to confront and process our emotions rather than letting them control us. Have you taken the time to heal from past wounds? How have these experiences shaped your current outlook on relationships? Addressing and resolving these issues is vital for creating a healthy foundation for future connections. In addition, communication is a cornerstone of any successful relationship. Stoicism teaches us the value of clear, honest dialogue. Poor communication can lead to misunderstandings, resentment, and ultimately, relationship breakdowns. Reflect on your communication style. Do you express your thoughts and feelings openly and respectfully? Are you a good listener? Improving your communication skills can significantly enhance your relationship dynamics and foster deeper connections. Furthermore, consider the role of self-sabotage. Sometimes we unconsciously engage in behaviors that undermine our own happiness and relationship prospects. This could be due to a lack of self-worth or fear of vulnerability. Stoicism encourages us to challenge these self-defeating patterns and cultivate a mindset of self-compassion and resilience. As Epictetus said, "You are a little soul carrying around a corpse." This vivid imagery reminds us to transcend our fears and insecurities, focusing on our true potential instead. Lastly, it's important to cultivate gratitude and appreciation in your relationships. Stoicism teaches us to value what we have rather than constantly seeking more. In the context of relationships, this means recognizing and appreciating your partner's positive qualities and contributions. Are you taking your partner for granted? How often do you express gratitude for the little things they do? Fostering a sense of appreciation can strengthen your bond and create a more fulfilling and harmonious relationship. In conclusion, the journey to a lasting and fulfilling relationship is deeply intertwined with our personal growth and mindset. By learning from our mistakes, embracing vulnerability, managing expectations, taking responsibility, finding contentment within ourselves, addressing past traumas, improving communication, overcoming self-sabotage, and cultivating gratitude, we can transform our relationship dynamics and pave the way for meaningful connections. Remember, as the Stoic philosopher Epictetus said, we cannot choose our external circumstances, but we can always choose how we respond to them. How will you choose to respond to the challenges and opportunities in your relationships? How will you grow and evolve to become a better partner? Reflect on these questions and take proactive steps towards personal and relational growth. As we wrap up today's video on 10 behaviors that keep you single, take a moment to reflect on your own journey. How do you think you're doing in your relationships? Have any past relationships gone sideways because of these behaviors? Can you relate to any of these signs or perhaps see them in a friend? Recognizing and understanding these patterns is a crucial step toward personal growth and finding lasting love. Embracing Stoic principles can help you navigate these challenges with a serene mind and resilient spirit. We believe that by applying the wisdom of Stoicism, you can develop healthier, more fulfilling relationships. Consider how you can integrate these teachings into your daily life to improve not only your romantic connections but also your overall well-being. Remember, self-awareness and personal development are ongoing processes that require patience and dedication. We'd love to hear your thoughts on today's topic. What did you relate to most and what insights did you gain? Are there any specific topics or questions you would like us to explore in future videos? Drop a comment below and share your experiences with us. Your feedback helps us create content that truly resonates with our community. Don't forget to like and share this video to spread the knowledge, and subscribe to Stoic In Your Life for more insights on blending ancient wisdom with modern living. Together, we can continue to grow and thrive on this Stoic journey. Thank you for watching, and we look forward to seeing you in the next video.